Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.
Welcome to the football show on PLZ Soccer. I'm Gabriel Antoniazzi. No Peter Martin here today, but thankfully I have two familiar faces with me here in the studio. Alan Rough and Barry Ferguson. We're going to talk through all of today's stories. Now, there's plenty of action to preview at the weekend, but first we found out Scotland's opponents for their Euro 2020 playoff. So earlier today, UEFA conducted the draws for the Euro 2020 playoffs in March. Scotland found out that they will play Israel in the semi-final at Hampden on Thursday, the 26th of March. Now, if they progress, it will be Norway or Serbia, but crucially, it's away from home. Now, let's start with the semi-final, though. Israel, manager under pressure. They've won 1 in 7 and not won away from home since 2017. Barry Ferguson, is it a good draw?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's definitely a winnable game. The boys are in good fettle just now. A good double header there, 2 wins out of 2, and some really good performances. So look, I'm very confident that we can win that game in March. It's going to be difficult. There's going to be a bit of pressure, but I think the boys can go through.
Roughie, Scotland played Israel twice in 2018. They lost away 2-1, but beat them 3-2 at home at Hampden. What do you remember of Israel?
Yeah, I think it's good we've got them. I think that obviously Hungary, Bulgaria, Romania are unknown quantities because we haven't played them. We've played Israel twice. We must have some kind of CV on them, which helps. So I'm sure somebody's been watching them. And the win against them the last time was not emphatic, but it was impressive. And when you beat somebody like that, and then you know you've got them again, it gives you that wee bit of confidence. So no, I think it's a good one. I'd rather stay away for the other 3.
Yeah, would that have been your pick of the fixtures before the draw this morning?
Definitely, yep. Although we're saying that Hungary and Bulgaria and Romania are getting beat by other teams, they qualified, for the nations, so they're in our level, if I can put it that way. So no, I think it's better playing somebody you know than somebody you don't.
So it's Israel at home then on Thursday the 26th of March. Mark the date in your diaries. Steve Clarke certainly has.
Yeah, home at Hampden. I think we showed tonight we can be a good team here at home. That place will be full. I'm sure it'll be full. Get a good atmosphere and get the team playing like that on the front foot. We can be okay.
Barry, you've played at Hampden when it's absolutely rocking, as Steve Clarke wants it to be. How much of a difference can that make the atmosphere? Can it give the players a lift?
Yeah, 100%. I've also played when it's been 19,000, 20,000, which is a bit dreary at times. But I'm sure with the boys, obviously the 2 good results I've had, Israel coming in March, I'm hopeful that there's going to be a sellout because it will make a difference. The atmosphere when the fans are in full flow, it's a very good stadium to play in. So hopefully the fans will turn out for the boys.
Roughie, you with him? It was only, I think, 15,000, 16,000 when Israel came last year, but you expect it to be a sellout this time round?
Yeah, I do. I think the Scottish supporters will get right behind the team. They always do, with the thought of maybe getting to a final. I'm sure they'll turn up in their numbers. It's going to be a real pressure game. I know a lot of these young Scottish guys play at club level at a reasonable level in European football or whatever, but this is representing your country. You've got everything in the one basket, and as long as they can handle the pressure, and it's always good when you're in a full stadium if you're on the front foot and you're winning. If you go behind, then the pressure kicks in. So let's hope we can get a goal early on just to settle everybody and get the supporters right behind the team. Yeah, well, it's 4 months away, but Barry, if I was to ask you now, would you expect all of our top players to be playing?
Yeah, I know we've had a few call-offs. I'm pretty certain that everybody will be available for selection. But I think that's a good thing. I think the boys that played in the last 2 games done really well. But when you're missing real quality like Kieran Tierney and Andy Robertson, I'm sure Steve Clark will be desperate to get the two boys certainly in. And then you've got also Lee Griffiths, who this week made his comeback, and hopefully over the next 2 or 3 months he gets a few games under his belt. And that's 3 players that I'm sure Stevie Clark would be desperate to get back in for March.
Right, let's talk about the game itself then, the starting 11. We can have a look at the starting 11 that we played just last week. Now, we would expect maybe 6 or 7 of those players to stay. Marshall, Palmer seems to have the right-back position down, and McKenna is a favourite of Clark. Of course, we'd expect Captain Robertson to drop in, and we know that Tierney has been touted as the centre-half. Now, the one I wanted to ask you two about is the midfielder. Now, obviously, John McGinn has been the standout player this year. McGregor will, of course, play. But Ryan Jack, do you think he did enough in those 2 games to warrant him being picked ahead of McTominay?
Yeah, I like the 3 of them. I know McTominay, he's done well previously, but obviously injury it gave Ryan Jack the opportunity to come in. I thought in the Cyprus game he just bedded himself in, but I thought against Kazakhstan, certainly in the second half, he was real quality, which he showed for Rangers this season. So I like to mix in there. I thought, as I said, Ryan Jack done well. Callum McGregor's just, for me, a proper footballer. And McGinn playing in that number 10 position. He's a threat going forward with his energy, and also he can get a goal. So I like to mix the 3.
Roughie, if Griffiths does come back, he's firing by March, would he be pushing Naismith for a starting spot, or is that Naismith's number 9 jersey?
No, I think Griffiths is the proven goal scorer. We all know what Stevie Naismith can do. He can link up. But unfortunately, with the abundance, I mean, it's amazing that we're talking about the abundance of quality midfielders we've got, you know, and they'd all be playing. It'd be five in the middle, so Naisy would probably drift out of that team if you had a striker up front, unless you play him off Griffiths. But if you do that, you're sacrificing one of the midfielders. And one player that we haven't been talking about is Ryan Christie. I think Ryan Christie's a starter. You know, I think, unfortunately, you know, we've got that many good young midfielders that it's a problem that I'm sure the manager would want to have. And whatever formation he plays, he knows he can have Ryan Jack sitting, and if he wants to be more adventurous, he can play the attacking, the McGinns and the Frasers and the McGregors. So it's a good one. I think we all know that defensively, I think defensively at home, it shouldn't be a problem. We should have good enough players defensively to see off Israel. You know, it's the away game, I think, is the problem defensively, because we are going to be on the back foot and we're losing goals in every game. We've lost a goal in every game we've played. So that means you've got to score 2 goals away from home.
It'll be interesting to see what he does if both Tierney and Robertson are available, which I'd like to think they are. But for me, if they 2 are available, you've got to find a way to get both of them in the team. For me, they're 2 top-class players, and I think when you've got class players available, you've got to make room to get them in the team.
Yeah, you touched on Ryan Christie there. He has been outstanding really for club and country this season, and I think his performances have warranted even Ryan Fraser to not get back in that team, because you would presume James Forrest is going to start on one wing, and I don't think you can drop Christie after what he's done in the last 2 games.
No, I think the biggest dilemma he'll have is McTominay or Jack. You know, I think it's either one or the other, because I think the other positions are a given. Forrest on one side, Robertson on the other, and McGinn in the middle, you know, with McGregor. And I like you, would have Christie in there, particularly at home. So it's McTominay or Jack for me, and then try and get the defence sorted.
Right, just quickly touch on the final, if they do get there. Of course, it's all hypothetical, but it's away in Oslo or Belgrade. Tough, Barry?
Yeah, 2 tough games, 2 really good teams. If you're asking me if we do get through against Israel, which I think we will, who would I fancy? I would probably pick for Norway. I think Serbia are technically a really good team, strong physical as well. So if we do get through against Israel, I would fancy our chances against Norway.
Roughie, Norway as well for you?
Norway for me, it's a British style of football that they play, which will suit our players. The only problem is obviously the record they've got, undefeated in 3 years at home, which isn't a good one to dwell on, you know. So you'd have to overcome that. But I just feel like Serbia have proved in a high quality competition that they can really turn it on with the players they've got. So for me, Norway.
So if Israel are beaten, hopefully it's Norway waiting on the 31st. And Lee Griffiths, could he feature? He's not played for 3 months, but Neil Lennon confirmed today that he will be in the squad for the Livingston match tomorrow.
He'll be involved with the squad, yeah. So, Yeah, slowly but surely. It's he had an hour there on Tuesday. He looked good in the hour. So he'll be in and around it now.
Barry, I want to ask you how big an asset Lee Griffiths can be for Celtic.
Yeah, for me, he's a natural goal scorer. I'm sure Celtic will be delighted that he's come back and played 60 minutes during the week. But you've got to give the boy time. He's had a lot of off-field problems. And you're just hopeful for Scotland as well that over the next 2 or 3 months he gets a number of games under his belt, because he is a big player for Celtic, but he could be massive for Scotland.
Roughie, for Griffiths for Celtic, is he the type of player that could make the difference in such a title race that we're seeing at the moment?
Again, you've got to look at, I think Celtic need another striker. I think it depends on the quality of that striker they bring in. If Lee Griffiths isn't playing regularly, he could easily find himself third choice, which would be bad for the national side, because we need to have him playing. Obviously Celtic would rotate, but we need him on the park. We need him scoring goals to get his confidence up, because that's what strikers need to play at the top level.
So Celtic come into the Livingston game on the back of a 7-match winning run. But the last time they faced Livingston, they were beaten 2-0. They're the only team to beat them domestically this season. And despite that, Neil Lennon isn't looking for revenge tomorrow.
I think all teams do, subconsciously. I don't think it's a deliberate thing, but, everyone wants to play their best against, Celtic and put their wits against the best players and the best team. So I'm sure it's not about revenge or anything like that. It's just about winning the game and playing well and keeping the momentum going as much as we can. Livingston
haven't actually won since that reverse fixture. 5 games since then. Roughie, how do you see this one going?
I think it'll be one-way traffic. I think Livingston will try and make it really tight at the beginning of the game. We've seen they are very good at that, but I think if Celtic break them down, whenever that might be, I can't see them coming back for that. And if Celtic were to score in the first half, I would think they'd probably run it maybe 3-0 winners.
Barry, much the same?
Yeah, I can't see Livingston getting anything. I think what Roughie just says, they'll go there and try and make it tough, but once Celtic get that first goal, there's only going to be one winner, and I think Celtic will win it convincingly, 3-0.
So both backing Celtic then, and whilst we are on the champions, the club have been fined nearly £13,000 for an illicit banner and chanting in the game against Lazio. Lazio have also been fined. Now it's the 19th time Celtic have been charged by UEFA and just the 3rd this season. But that's enough on them. Move over to the other side of Glasgow. Rangers are gearing up for a game against Hamilton Accies, and Alfredo Morelos, on the back of scoring for the first time for Colombia, is receiving praise from his manager.
Yeah, we're very pleased for him. I think from our point of view it was only a matter of time. I think the form he's in, not just the talent and the ability to score goals, I think his all-round game and his behaviour has certainly improved. We know if we can keep him in this moment, we knew it was only going to be a matter of time before A, he'd get called up, 2, he'd get an opportunity, and 3, he'd score a goal, because that's what he does.
So 22 goals for Rangers already this season. He's now scored for Colombia against Peru at the weekend. Barry, Gerrard was highlighting when I spoke to him today how young the striker actually is. I think he's only 23. Do you think that he's proving this season that he can mature with age?
Yeah, 100%. That was a worry I had. Obviously the disciplinary side of it. But fair play to the boy. He's obviously went away over the summer and worked really hard on it, and you see the difference in him. There was no doubt his qualities as a centre forward. Good on the ball and strong, and he can score goals. So no, I'm delighted he sorted that side of it out, and now he's scoring at the highest level. He's not away, as you just mentioned, international, scored another goal. So I can see why the manager's praising him.
Roughie, I know it's Hamilton at the weekend, but just looking ahead to the massive League Cup final at the start of December, could that be the perfect platform for Morelos to show that he has completely upped his game to the next level this season?
No, I don't think he needs to convince everybody just because he hasn't scored against Celtic. I think he's done well in European football. I think European football is the target where people will judge him. Obviously, if he gets a goal against Celtic, if he gets the winner, his profile is going to go higher, But I don't think he'd beat himself up, if he doesn't get that goal, because it could be a performance that he puts in, it could be an assist, that's for somebody else. So he'll want to score the goal. You know, that, I mean, that's a given. You don't want a record like that hanging over you. So, no, but for me, he's done everything this year more than last year.
OK, well, Morelos isn't actually returning to the country until tomorrow, so that's Jermaine Defoe likely to start up front at the weekend for Rangers. Barry, do you think he could get another goal? He's top goal scorer at the moment. Yeah,
listen, if Morelos is coming back late, you've got a top striker on the sidelines in Jermaine Defoe. So that's the good thing that Rangers have got just now. They've got two top centre forwards. If one is maybe carrying an injury or off form, you've got the other one to come in. So I don't think it will make a difference against Hamilton. I think Rangers will go there. Again, Hamilton will try and make it difficult, but I think Rangers have got too much quality. They're in a good place at this moment in time and they'll win the game.
Yeah, Gerard was highlighting today it's the first time this season that he's actually had his whole squad fit. Even Jordan Jones isn't too far away. Rangers beat them 5-0 at Ibrox earlier this season. Roughie, do you expect it could be similar?
Yeah, it'll be the same as Barry's saying there. It'll be the same as Celtic. You know, you have to break them down first. They are organised. You know, they'll sit in. Rangers have always commented on the artificial turf. They don't particularly like it. If you can get your head around that, and again, just like Celtic, once you go in front, you can't see Hamilton getting anything out of the game.
Right, before we have a look at the other four fixtures, here's how you can enter and win our fantastic prize, a certain Mr. Ferguson shirt.
Hi, I'm Barry Ferguson. Don't forget to like, share and follow our social media channels at PLZ Soccer. To win this shirt, all you have to do is guess my favourite Rangers goal.
So, 4 fixtures we've not spoken about yet. I'd like to start with Hibernian against Motherwell. Jack Ross's first game in charge. Now, I know that you two were both praising his appointment. Do you think he'll have the East Road faithful straight on his side, Roughie?
Yeah, I think he will. I think the win at St Johnstone has given everybody a wee lift. Obviously, the new manager come in. I think the supporters will turn up in the numbers, which means they have to win the game. They have to right away get everybody on board. I think they will. I think Motherwell will make it very, very difficult for them. I think they'll just edge it 2-1.
Barry, could this be a good barometer for Hibs because Motherwell are so high up, a place that they would like to be?
I think it's going to be, there's no doubt in my mind it'll be a tough game for Hibs, but I just think the players, and as Roughie says, I think the fans will turn out in numbers because it's a new manager, and that's the reason why I think Hibs will just edge it. It'll be a close game, but I think Hibs will edge it.
Hibs will edge it for you then. Let's go across to Hearts, still managerless. They've not hired anyone since they sacked Craig Levine nearly a month ago now. Austin McPhee likely to be in the dugout. He's away to Kilmarnock. Is that a really tough trip for him, Roughie?
Yeah, I think it is a tough trip. I mean, everybody that goes to Kilmarnock don't get an easy game now compared to the beginning of the season. They're very, very well organised. They've got players that can score goals, and that's why they've been on a decent run. I think Hearts will go there. I can't see Hearts winning the game, but I can't see them losing it, so I'm going to go for a draw.
Barry, if he wins this game, McPhee, does that give him a better say, a better chance of getting the job?
Me personally, I don't think he'll get the job. I think Anne Budge's taking her time because she needs to get this one right. Hearts have, over the past probably 8 to 10 months, have been in poor form. So hence the fact that that's now 4 weeks. But listen, Austin McPhee got a result a couple of weeks ago, but I don't think it'll make a difference if Hearts do win, which I don't think they will. I think they'll go down there and get a draw. But in terms of the Hearts job, Anne Budge is doing the right thing. I think she's taking her time, making sure she gets the right man for the job.
Yeah, I agree with you there. OK, quick fire. St Mirren versus Ross County. St Mirren at home, they're bottom of the table. This is the kind of game they really need to win. Roughie, will they do it?
Yeah, I think they will. I've been impressed with Ross County. They've managed to pick up points here and there, but I think St Mirren at home will win 2-1.
No, it's got a draw written all over it.
Draw?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a draw.
And the final one on Sunday, St Johnstone versus Aberdeen. It's 11th versus 3rd. Draw as well?
No, I think Aberdeen are rich for any form just now. I think they'll go down there and win the game 2-0.
Yeah, I don't think St Johnstone will recover for the heavy defeat from Hibs, so I'm going to go Aberdeen to win 2-0.
OK, well that concludes the Premiership fixtures. The only other thing we have to mention is the Scottish Women's Cup final, which takes place on Sunday between Glasgow City and Hibernian. Now, can Hibs make it 4 Scottish Cups in a row, or will City make it the perfect end to a very impressive season? Now, the game is being held at Tynecastle for the first ever time, and they're hoping for a record crowd. So the best of luck to all of those involved. That's all we have time for. Thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you didn't miss Peter too much. Don't forget, you can like, share and subscribe to us on all of our social media platforms below, and stay tuned for all the latest Arnold Clark deals. Bye-bye.
Hello and welcome to the latest from Arnold Clark, where we bring you the best deals from across the country from Europe's largest independent car retailer. Here are just 3 of the unmissable deals that we've picked out for you this week. First up is this 69-plate Vauxhall Corsa. One of the UK's most popular super minis has had a facelift, and this 1.4-litre 3-door Griffin model takes things a step further with its stylish sports interior, heated front sports seats, finely tuned sports suspension and 16-inch black twin-spoke alloy wheels. It also comes with the Navi 4.0 IntelliLink 7-inch touchscreen, and you can get all that for $10,998 or just £169 a month. But be quick, there's only a limited stock available. If you're looking for incredible value for money in the SUV crossover market, then it's hard to look past the hugely popular Dacia Duster. This 19-plate, 1.3-litre Prestige model could be yours for $16,498 or £249 per month. For that, you get a whole host of features new to the Duster, including climate control, curtain airbags, blind spot warning, keyless entry, 17-inch diamond-cut alloy wheels, and a 7-inch touchscreen multimedia system with satellite navigation, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto. Add in remarkably cheap running costs, and the overall Dacia package is hard to beat. Finally, here's your chance to own one of the most thrill-seeking rides around, and for an unbeatable price. This 5-door 19-plate BMW 1 Series 118i M Sport gives you all the handling expertise you'd expect from a BMW, coupled with style and refinement, and all for $17,998 or £269 per month. And this Shadow Edition also comes with black Dakota leather seats, LED headlights with automatic beam control, 18-inch double spoke alloy wheels, and the outstanding Harman Kardon sound system. For more details on any of the fantastic deals available from Arnold Clark, simply head over to arnoldclark.com/deals or get in touch with your nearest Arnold Clark branch. I'll be back next time with more mouth-watering deals, but until then, thanks for watching and happy motoring.
Expect the best used car deals guaranteed. Visit arnoldclark.com.